Back when I used to still play Fortnite competitive, there was a 7-step formula I used to go from top 300 to 400 in tournaments to always placing top 100. A lot of the time also getting up there in the top 30s or 20s or sometimes even better. Okay, yeah, I didn't literally have like a piece of paper or a manual with 7 steps written down that I followed to the T every single tournament. But fast forward until now and I have realized that there are these rough 7 steps I didn't even realize I was following for every tournament, which were all these tricks I used to be as prepared as possible for tournaments. You could say that these 7 tricks actually helped me perform at my best possible skill, so basically unleashing my full potential. So I'm not going to waste any more of your time, bro. Let's get into the first step to that formula, which oddly enough is about preparing too much. Sounds crazy, right? Well, just hear me out first, bro. When you prepare to the absolute max, like imagine there's a solo cash cup happening at the end of the week. You're playing solo scrims in preparation, VOD reviewing them, imagining what you're going to do differently in the solo cash cup this weekend, thinking about what you'll do throughout the tournament, like when you should key or when you should not. Just in general, when you're practicing all week for the main sole reason of performing well in the tournament at the end of the week, when the time comes, the build up is going to be so strong, you're going to get so nervous and play so bad. So instead, you should just practice day to day with the goal of just eventually going pro, whatever that may look like for you day to day. And then these tournaments are just passing things where you just get to practice and are more learning opportunities. Now, for the second trick I used was getting the best sleep possible before tournaments as I could. Especially as an IGL, I noticed the difference between getting bad sleep and getting really good sleep to be just absolutely insane. I would be such a better player when I just got a full 9-hour sleep. So even though you should be trying to get a good sleep every single night, if you don't have the choice, at least just try to make an effort just to get good sleep before tournament days. And double points if you get, say, like 2 good sleeps in a row before a tournament. That's when you play at your absolute peak. Now, the third thing I would do right is warm up, but not in the way you think. You don't want to actually warm up much before tournaments because it just uses up a lot of your mental and physical energy and focus. So about 1 hour and 15 minutes, you ideally want to get onto your PC and then start with about 15 minutes of free building while you're looking for someone similar skill to 1v1. You'll do about 35 minutes of realistic 1v1s against that person. Then take your like 30 to 40 minute break before the tournament, just doing something chill and relaxing. And then finally get back onto your PC like 20 to 15 minutes just before the tournament starts again, just to quickly warm up your fingers into more 1v1 realistics. And if you have all day, you can totally practice Fortnite the entire day. And then like 2.5 hours before the tournament starts, around that, you want to take a good break. Just like for a good hour or so, doing something low stimulation, like maybe just going on a walk, maybe doing some low effort exercise or talking to friends and family. And then about 1 hour and 15 minutes before the tournament, get on and do the warm-up strategy I already explained. And this nicely segues me on to my fourth step. Remember that break I said to have 30 to 40 minutes before the tournament? That's when you want to eat. But you should be eating a healthy and balanced meal with fats, carbs, and protein. And only eat enough just to leave you satisfied, like a 7 out of 10 on the fullness scale. So that you don't feel just really full and lethargic, but you also won't just randomly get hungry mid-tournament. Now bro, the fifth step in my formula is to put away all distractions. Turn off your lights so you can't see much in your room except your screen. Put your phone on Do Not Disturb and place it face down somewhere across your room. And do not alt-tab to anything mid-tournament like YouTube or whatnot. Not even in between games, because in the next game you play after watching YouTube, for example, in the lobby, you're going to be distracted thinking about what you just watched. You need to lock in and stay locked in during the whole tournament. Now the sixth step is small but important. Keep a water bottle on your desk at all times, so you can just sip at it in between games and obviously stay hydrated doing so. Anyways, finally, the last step to my 7-step formula was mentality based. Now this one is important bro, so listen up. Don't focus so much on the idea of doing good in this tournament. Understand that however you do in this tournament is what you deserved with your current skill set, and you didn't deserve nothing more or nothing less. I find that this stops you worrying so much more about the ifs. Because now it's just like, oh, I just wasn't good enough at that time to think about doing that, so all I can do from this is just learn for next time. Because it's now like, oh, I just wasn't good enough at the time in that tournament to think of doing that instead. All I can do is learn from that. This mindset just lets you try as hard as you possibly can and be completely okay with whatever outcome that is. And lastly, you need to stop thinking about tournaments as a whole. Like when people say at the start of a tournament, oh, we just need to top 5 4 games and then maybe just top 15 2 more games to qualify. Because thinking like that is really stressful and makes you forget about the most important individual steps. Instead, as much as you possibly can, you just kind of need to focus on each game as it comes and just almost completely forget about any future games until they get to you.